But yo, what happened this past weekend? It was Vortex Gallery, wasn't it? Vortex Gallery, for anyone who doesn't know, is the month-long niche fighter tournament series, basically. It was formerly known as Animivo. It was basically the place where all the games who, you know, they have a solid community, they have a dedicated community and a competitive one, they're not going to make the main stage of EVO, let's be honest. Those games would gather and they would have these big side tournaments known as Animivo. It was a lot of anime games, hence the name Animivo. And Fantasy Strike, a few years ago, got themselves into this. And yeah, we've been running Animivo and now Vortex Gallery stuff. So yeah, Vortex Gallery was super sick. There were a ton of amazing players.
Looks like we're starting off.
And yeah, like Ducky says, I think we're going to start off. We're going to take a look at me versus Cole here. So I'm running the Midori. What am I running? No, I'm running the Valerie. Cross, running the Midori. I had some problems here. This first match, look at me, where I'm like, this is supposed to be really good for Valerie, right? Where I'm like, okay, I can play some defensive. Whoops, no, I can't forward A. So like, I was legitimately super worried when I first started this one off. No, Cross, you're not free as always. I was lucky there. I got the Cyan Magenta as the anti-air, but unfortunately get parried, and I just was like not having it. So thankfully, Cross went for the throw there, and I was able to get off me. Good tail sweep punish on my yellow, but me managing to get out and then just using these jump A's to kind of control the space against Dragon. If they try to jump at me, if I can get up in the air first, right, then I can get out my jump A's and hopefully prevent something. Bad chromatic orb. And then, like, super scrambly here. Like, after this, I was expecting the tail sweep cross, but I didn't get the block, so thankfully that worked for me. Right? And then as soon as I got the other side zip against this parry, I was like, okay, I got corner control, I got damage. Now I can go in and play my nonsense game. Super stoked to get that throw. And again, cross up jump A. This is so good if you can get it as Valerie. Because even if that parry was on same side, I would have been able to block it. Yeah, and this was super early in the tournament. When I saw that I had to play cross right at the very beginning of the tournament, I was very worried. Especially here when I got Midori versus Geiger, right? Like, I start off by being like, oh no. Okay, just try to jump in and close that gap, and then I got hit for it, and then immediately counter hit on the wake up 2. It's like, it's bad. So I kind of got to center myself and do the slow work in, right? Thankfully, I'm able to parry that drop gear. Trying to bait out some flash kicks here. Get hit again for trying to butt stomp. Yeah, use my peek to read that I just got to block that, but the walk down. This is something that's important that you need to be able to do as Midori. It's very tempting sometimes to just do like the headbutt in, jump in. Walk them down. Like, you need to be able to use the threat of Dragon and close that distance, and this is great, because once I have him here in the corner, he can't escape. He tries to jump, and I get the mix into throw. Walking. Look, legitimately, one of the best buffs your character can get is a walk speed increase. Like, universally, if your character gets a walk speed increase, it's going to be a benefit to you, right? Just that simple ability of whenever you are trying to control space, you are actively, and you are doing it better, that you're doing actively and better than anyone else, right? So, yeah, learn when to walk forward. I was far enough. Look, I go for this is my favorite setup. After you get a command grab with Dragon, frame kills. I use my instant, like I mash tail sweep and it comes out immediately. And this is perfect timing for me to then mash headbutt, which is the exact timing you need for a cross-up headbutt on a wake-up opponent, right? Fantasy Strike doesn't have variable wake-up timing. What it does have is wake-up reversals. So that takes me out. And now I'm in the corner, I'm losing meter, and I panic command grab again. And Cross just being like, take the hit, you can't punish me, gets, unfortunately, the little stubby NA leaves Geiger just too far away for the flash kick to connect, which lets me throw punish. And I love the throw into corner throw with Midori. It can actually be counter thrown, but it'll beat a lot of buttons. But throws are fast enough that Midori can be counter thrown if he tries to throw into throw when you're in the corner like that. But you've got to be willing. If I'm sitting there and I fuzzy guard for a quick sec and then I throw or then I push a button, then that changes things a lot. So, but I think at that point, Cross was probably not willing to go for another flash kick. Yeah, Cross saying that nothing was working in that match, right? Yeah, and that's the way it goes sometimes, where it's just like, I mean, like I kind of put you in tough positions where you had limited options, and then yeah, like when they don't work, you don't want to go to them. But look, you switch it up immediately in this next round. Gear, and then challenge me in the air. You see me jump forward, you challenge me in the air. Great stuff. Make me block. Challenge me in the air, make me land on it. Perfect. This is good, like push forward Geiger play. You're giving up your charge, but that doesn't matter because look, boom, you still get the flash kick, right? I mean, whatever. In all honesty, if you're autopiling and you went to that after, like that's a good decision. If you're like, oh, the thing I'm actively doing isn't working and my default is to actually change things and have it work for you, that's great. Because look, I'm forced to take the super risky butt slam in, and then I get hit, right? I get hit again trying to do the jump over. You get the nice pickup with the forward A. And then once again, no punish on that, unfortunately, right? But like, gets away from the command grab. Headbutt beats fucking everything. That is the sad thing. Fair enough, Cross. It's hard to look at a loss, especially a 3-0 loss, and say, yeah, there was some worthwhile stuff in here. But it's super important, I think, to recognize your successes for what they were. Don't stop doing the right thing because you lost the match. It was still the right choice at the time. But here for me, like this is a great situation for me where I get the win against the Geiger, which is a character that I was really, really worried about. And now I have to go into a Jaina DeGray match, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it's okay. I'm comfortable with Jaina. I know how to play this matchup pretty well. And as Frosty says, yeah, that 3-0 was one of the closest ones on stream. It's funny, every single one of my matches was a 3-0, but all but one of them was close. This made me so sad. Like, look, this made me uber sad. I get the setup. I get my arrow out. I get my super out. And what is this? Frickin' threading this needle. Look at this. There is like no space for you to be able to get through here. And yet, you get the jump back into kick. And I'm walking forward to pressure you after this because I'm like, oh, they're going to have to block. So I'm going to go forward and I'm going to close the gap. But no, you come out with those kicks and you just frickin' body me in the face. And so me not wanting to press forward, then I do the neutral jump dive kick, which is great. It lets me maintain positioning. And then... Okay. Seriously. I took a cue from Ducky in this one. I knew Ducky was doing the commentary, and she is a huge proponent of continue doing it until it doesn't work anymore. And I didn't want to have to go into a different set of decision makings at this point. And I'm like, I'm okay, like I'm down. Let's just go for the throw. I get the throw, empty jump throw. You got meter. I don't want a dive kick because if you reversal super, I'm done. So I just go, I commit to the 4 throws in a row. I hit the 3rd throw and I almost didn't do a throw the next time, but I'm like, no, I've gotta stick. I need my stick to itiveness. Yeah, and you tried for the fuzzy Yomi, but it didn't work, right? And it's hard. Fuzzy Yomiing is something that you gotta really practice. And I mean, the Jaina dive kick stuff, she can do her dive kick so unbelievably low. And like I might not even have been doing it there, right? No, I was just straight empty jump. But you can do it. You can do the dive kick so low that the hit is still a threat very late into her jump. This okay, and this was really good actually. As soon as I saw the air super, I know that Jaina's air arrow, like the straight arrow, can come out in 1 frame. If you tap it, it comes out in 1 frame. So I'm like, you're far enough away that I have a chance here. So I risked getting counter hit to hopefully be able to knock you out of your air super here, because you had enough time, right? Like I had enough distance that I could actually hit you out. My arrow actually comes out, but I'm so much higher than you that it just whiffs. But thankfully, I don't get counter hit because like I was at 4 health. Yeah, I was at 4 health. So worst case scenario, you get counter hit. You might be able to get the pickup, but probably not. So I went for the jump arrow to hopefully knock you out. It did not pay off for me. And there you go. Late dive kick into the combo. Go for my setup again. Now I'm worried about the kicks. So instead of charging, I just throw out the 2 arrows, and then I would have been able to like either knee or dragon punch to counter your kicks if they came in. Get the Yomi there. I was worried about full screen walk up throw, so I was trying to fuzzy there. Thankfully, I didn't get hit. The really late dive kick. So that's usually what I do when I'm going for, like, I wanted this to be completely empty, and it was. I did it so late that the dive kick animation started coming out, but then she just lands and the hitbox doesn't actually come out. So able to bait out the super there. And I usually try to do that to like precisely that, to bait out supers or to bait out reversals. Then yeah, get my throw. Unfortunately, missing my follow-up because I actually get the counter hit dive kick on the counterpoint step. But no bueno on the combo. Again, I'm worried about walk up, full screen walk up throw. We do the nothing and we back off. And then there. As soon as I see... you did not believe that was a bait? No, 100%. I love doing the super low dive kick that doesn't actually come out. Right? But then, yeah. The full screen... This is like, honestly, it's not a bad read. But that I'm like, it was abso-freaking-lutely max, and I got my arrow out fast enough that you're that far when I'm already starting to go into recovery, so I just mash on that super. And I know it's not going to hit me because I'm going to be invulnerable even if the attack isn't coming out. But yeah, no, that was my, like, I was super worried going into that match because Cross, you're a damn good player. But yeah, so that's my first match there versus Cross.